Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the world champion Oakland Athletics. In our previous episode, we won the World Series, which is pretty good. I think that is, in fact, the literal best that anybody can do in Major League Baseball. There's not like a bonus super championship you can win instead. So first things first, I want to thank everybody as always for your amazing contributions to the channel. Your comments and feedback were very much appreciated. One thing that everyone... So there are two main comment threads that came as of the last video. The first was the universal one. The other one was less so. The universal one was get rid of Demoya, even if you have to add in a prospect to do so. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to let it roll over at least till 2039, so I'll have one last year in his contract, but fair, honestly. If I have to give a reasonably good prospect to someone to take this albatross of a contract, so be it. The other thing people were far more mixed on is Gilberto Cabral. A few people said, nope, trade his ass now. A few other people said, keep him and give him a chance. I can see both arguments genuinely. But there's one very good reason to keep him. He is still at the league minimum. And since the guy's never had 300 at-bats in the majors, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give him until the next trade deadline. If he has unlocked some of his potential, if he's dropping bombs and taking walks, then I'm for it. I'm all over it. I would be delighted, and we can rest easy. If he doesn't, he'll still have enough value that he'll be worth trading, and so that's my plan for the Cabral. So how do we remove Demoya? Well, we wait until the league year ticks over. Let's talk contracts. I am not bringing back either one of these players. I can't afford them. There. I probably need to make some trades here, but I haven't decided yet. Okay. So who is the most important player to keep? It's Chris McDevitt. Like, I'm not even going to dispute it. A great pitcher fixes a lot of problems, and he was demonstrably a great pitcher last year. So definitely got to keep him. No-brainer. Equally important is Ishmael Estrada. Well, I'm not saying we're going to keep him forever and ever. He has genuinely been one of the best players in the league for 3 years straight. And especially in the absence of having any other dedicated center fielders that strike me as high quality. Oh my god, game. Really? You did it again. All the time. The Fury, she is unending. Double A. A boop. A boop. A boop. And a boop. There you go. Alright. I guess we could look at Dave Thames, maybe. Thames isn't that great as a center fielder, so I think we got to keep Estrada. There is Portillo, though. There is Portillo, isn't there? I feel like giving up on Estrada this quickly is a bit foolish because he has been a huge part of our very successful teams. But it is equally true that at some point he will get hurt again. So maybe his value will never be higher than it is right now. And between Portillo and, say, Thames, I think we can approximate his skill level with far less expenditure. Interesting. If I were to trade him and Demoya, I wonder what I could get for that. Any player, let's go. I can only get arguably worse choices. Kevin Root, I guess, wouldn't be the worst. But I'd be stuck with that contract for 3 more years. That seems pretty bad. Hambal is just thoroughly uninteresting. And is also... Like, we're saving money. Like, I don't want to sound ungrateful. We are saving money if we trade him. But we're not saving enough. I'd rather just trade Estrada and maybe get a prospect package. Or we could get one Escobedo who looks fucking incredible. Like, Dylan Terrell isn't even slightly interesting to me, but Escobedo looks genuinely fantastic. I don't know why the Dodgers won't let him play in the big leagues, but I will find a spot for him. I see very little reason not to take this deal. If I could maybe dump Terrell to get a better player, that would be the only thing I would like to get if I could. But Escobedo is truly special, and the fact that they're giving him away for pennies on the dollar is wild to me. You don't have, like, a good first base prospect. You have Alerson, who's very far away from the big leagues. I'll just do this straight up. Like, I know the fans are going to be sad because of losing Estrada, but Escobedo is actually better. Like, in a very real sense, Escobedo is a better player with even more upside. And he's a righty with a big old thump, so I think that was the right call there. Next up on our plate, what do we do about other players? Andy Santa Cruz. I just got Escobedo. So if I can get a decent prospect, I think I will trade. I think I will trade Santa Cruz. Why can I not trade you? No? No, seriously, why can I not? I must be out of, like, shop attempts for one day. There we go. What would people willing to give me for Santa Cruz, I wonder? I think Mike Dennison's pretty good. Dave Zahn could be a starter in the right circumstances. In fact, I think he'd be a reasonably good starting pitcher. Yeah, let's get Dave Zahn. That sounds good. We're saving cash, but more importantly, we're bringing in good talent. Alright, next player whose time is about to get a lot shorter with our club. feel like we can't give up on Hoskins yet, which unfortunately forces me to the unpleasant realization that I do have to pay him. Like, in real money, too. I was just gonna pay him in, like, Monopoly money, but I don't think it's gonna work. Here we go. So 1-year contract for Hoskins makes sense. Volpert was too good. Volpert was one of the best relievers in the history of Major League Baseball. We're not going to be as successful if we don't keep him. Even if it does mean increasing our money a bit, I still think we've been making the right choice by keeping him. So here's the next big question, which is Bilbrey worth $5 million? Bilbrey's real good. Real good. And I feel like our bullpen was a key reason that we won the World Series, so I'm not super enthused about getting rid of him. But he also wants a gigantic leap in salary. He's wanting to go from league minimum to $5 million. That's a lot more money. Oh, but he's so good. He's so good. I think we have to do it. I'm keeping Bilbrey. I'm keeping him. He's too special. He's too good. He's much too good at throwing baseballs to dispose of him at this point in his career. He's a good one. There you go. All right. So then the question becomes, do we keep Schaffner and do we keep Gross? Danny Gross was extremely good last year, apart from the injuries. And Danny Gross is a very talented pitcher who can pitch either from the bullpen or from the rotation. And so I think keeping him is fairly reasonable. I'm okay with that. This leaves Schaffner. And Schaffner, I think, is probably the closest thing to an expendable pitcher on this roster. Especially when I have Chris Allen and the other guy who each are going to get a big shot in the minors. I need to clear space. And especially if I can't trade DeMoya, which it doesn't seem like I can, then trading you to get rid of your salary actually helps us more, in my opinion. Jorge Fuentes would be a pretty interesting get if I had other needs. I'm not taking either of these guys because they can't throw strikes. Oh, excuse me. That was gross. Hi, Alex Mueller. Ironically, he get Alex Mueller back after I traded him to LA in the first place. Tempting. Potentially. Ignacio Castro doesn't strike me as all that impressive. Ernesto Lavador is entirely dependent on one skill. I've had more than my share of those to the point where I'm not eager to try it. I do like Campus, though. If I could get Campus and Lavador, I would make this deal. I will give you more time to think about it. So we're going to advance a day. We're close. Okay, what if I offered you the greatest baseball player in recorded history? What if I offered you Juan DeMoya? I am not giving up Luna. Don't be fucking absurd. I could give you Gallego. No, I need somebody who can reasonably handle shortstop in case of injury, so I can't give up on him too quickly. I'm going to trade Ronnie Small because he literally will never catch. Or do I trade somebody else? Like, both Josh Price and Tony Mello could be reasonably good catchers. I don't need, like, 10 catchers, though. So there's a possibility of one of them being traded out. There's also Jim Goth, who just isn't that good, but could be. Like, giving up on Jim Goth seems a little premature. And I don't want to give you a genuinely elite prospect. So it's going to be either Mello or Price. Mello is a really good defensive catcher. Price is merely a very good one. I could give you Jesus Ramirez and shed some payroll that way. But I don't want to piss the fans off again. Why am I holding on to Spiva? No, I'll trade Spiva. Final answer. 2 really good prospects in exchange for shedding some payroll makes a ton of sense to me. Alright, so all the arbitration stuff is dealt with. Let's advance some time and see where we get. Oh, I need to look at coaches, don't I? McDevitt takes a new deal. I have a lot of positions to fill. So we're going to pause quickly and determine who would be our best fits. Garrett Groce would be a pretty good hitting coach. I think we go ahead and promote him. Done. Our pitching coach, I will happily make David Carpenter our new pitching coach. Done. Manager... I like Skip Shoemaker, but I only like him as a bench coach. How weird would you get if I made you my manager? I don't actually know how weird a manager you'd make. We don't want anybody easygoing. That much is for sure. Which Skip Shoemaker is not. So the question is, do we promote Haney? I mean, Haney's been extremely successful. And he already knows the team. I think maybe promoting him to manager... and then promoting somebody else to manager. I would make Jose Vicente my bench coach instantly if he would take the job, but I have a feeling that he won't, but I want to try it. Please be my bench coach. Oh my god. I have never seen somebody so good at managing that refuses to manage. It truly boggles my mind. Truly, truly boggles my mind. We could go super young and call up Cooper Goldby. Like, get a really young coach on the roster. Or we could just print one of these guys to bench coach. That actually makes sense, too. Let's go ahead and make Rosales the bench coach. Would you take being the first base coach, Mr. Vicente? You will take that. Okay, finally. David Carpenter is a red ass. We'll have to deal with that another time. But for right now, this seems good. There you go. Let's rebuild our minor league coaching staffs. Will Venable. I kind of want to keep him in high A. I'm actually going to rocket Cooper Goldby up because I want the younger guys to get an opportunity to actually show that they can be really good. I don't have a manager's spot open, do I? No, I have pitching and hitting coaches. Levi Romero can be promoted to AAA pitching coach. That seems reasonable. James Newman gets promoted to AAA as well. Scott Chambers gets promoted to AA pitching coach. Michael Soto gets promoted to AA hitting coach. Miguel Montan is reasonably good. We can promote him. Unless Jason Angel's like phenomenal. He's a little better. Yeah, let's let the old man be your pitching coach in high A. You can be promoted to regular old A ball. That's fine. Malcolm Owens is an amazing hitting coach and needs to be promoted to high A. For sure. And what about Grolman Gonzalez? Grolman Gonzalez, maybe one of the best coaches that we have. Definitely promoting him. So this is all great. We've got all new coaches to do all new things. Let's get a pitching coach. I very much want Neil Friendling here. And then I want the other guy in the other league. Smidoffer. Hitting coach. Ben Johnson, happily offer him a deal. He seems like a fantastic choice. And let's grab Niger Morgan, actually, because he's amazing at development. No. Angel Barrios is a better choice, for sure. Okay. Hopefully get some decent coaches out of this. Fans really like Randy Hoskins. They love Danny Gross. They're over the moon about Joel Volbert. I will offer you 150 grand. I don't even care. I desperately want all of these men to be my coaches. Oh, I'm not promoting you to the big leagues. That's a hard stop. If you want to pitch, if you want to play in the big leagues, then yeah. Ben, I will give you 200 grand. Just stay with me, please. We got Neil Friendling though. That's amazing. I'm happy about that. I am pleased about that. I just offered Ben Johnson a deal. We still thinking about it, that's right. Oh, let's grab Jose Almanacio and offer him pitching coach. And I will offer Niger Morgan. There you go. And Johnson finally seems happy with one of these fucking offers. Oh, newbie Dave Zahn. I forgot to do anything with you, didn't I? Yeah, I'll put you on the roster. You two, however, will depart. What had just happened? Did you just put those fuckers... Oh my god, game. Really? Really? I just put them through waivers, and you're like, I know what you wanted to do. You wanted them not to be on waivers anymore. Oh my god. Morgan is pumped. Sean DeWitt won himself a gold glove. As did Oviedo. Good job, mate. Love that for you. Ben Johnson takes the offer. Nigel Morgan thinks he can make more money. What if I give you 150 grand? Volpert got reliever of the year. I am honestly not surprised. Silver Slugger for Luna. Luna might actually also win MVP. He is Rookie of the Year, which is hilarious. Okay, contracts have all been signed. Lovely. I'm not eligible for any of the year because I'm retired, and I don't think the game recognizes that. I think it freaks out of it. And Luna got MVP. Nearly unanimous. One person voted for Chris McDevitt. Honestly, fair. Chris McDevitt was pretty cool. Carlos Correa very clearly deserves it. I'll vote for Vlad Guerrero Jr. Why not? Marcelo Mayer, not so much. I guess the interest in Mayer is he had such a short career, yet actually played at a very high level. But I still don't think that's enough to get in the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of playing at a high level, which would make for a very large sign. I don't know how popular that would be. I will vote for Trey Turner, though. This is kind of an underwhelming Hall of Fame class. I gotta be honest with you guys. It doesn't really fill me with too much enthusiasm. Do I just go full hard ass and be like, no, you're not worth it? I don't know. Like, there's some 50-win guys I guess I could vote for, just for the sake of voting for them. But, like, I'm not going to vote for Marcelo Mayer. Like, there's nothing about that stat line that convinces me this is a man who needs to be in the Hall of Fame yesterday. That doesn't make sense. I will vote for Aaron Nola. That was an oversight on my part. Like, the rest of you guys are, like, meh. Like, I don't see that you're actually making the Hall of Fame a better place if I vote for you. I will vote for Brandon Woodruff, too, though. Because I don't want to be the reason a guy doesn't make the Hall of Fame, but I'm also not going to bend over backwards to put him in the Hall of Fame either. You like Alejandro Kirk for some reason. I could see that. I can vote for that. I could do it. Yeah, I think that's good. I don't think I'm going to vote for anybody else here. It's just not that I will also vote for Xander Bogaerts, but I have a feeling that he's already doomed. Already doomed. Okay. Submit offer. Done. Okay, fuckos. Demote. There we go. Jesus. Look, I already know, point blank, I do not have any money to sign free agents this year. I will barely have any money to sign players that cost no money. I'm still 15 million in the hole. Let's trade Demoya. I want a prospect package. but I will allow the AI to include another player from my team. Really? Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's a prospect I can offer. I'm gonna have to eat part of his salary to get rid of him. I'm gonna put him on the block, and maybe as season goes on, I'll get some offers for him. But I think we have to keep him for at least 1 year. This means I have no money. I have no money to do anything. It's fine, but that's where we are right now. Like, we're spending a lot of money for players, but I think the game is being a little weird with the whole tee hee hee, your payroll's tiny. Like, come on, fucker. 21st is all you can manage for a World Series winning team. Why don't we get people showing up in a stadium? Gee, I bet it's because you make me fucking trade players away to afford the salary. And I get it, the McDevitt's a big part of the issue, right? Like, McDevitt's ginormous salary is certainly going to be problematic. But, like, come on, guys. Come the fuck on. Oh, right. So I have no money. Oh, I know I can save some money. I need to drastically cut my fancy budgets. We'll do 20 million. That frees up some cash. Not a lot, but some. Let's also go ahead and at least get up to the league minimum for scouting. There we go. So now I have $19 million. So I could add a free agent if I wished to. I could. What do I want? Oh, what is new manager's deal? What is he going to let me do and not do? Jason Haney is an agreeable guy, except for outfield shifts. He will burn in hell before he would ever let me challenge his amazing outfield shifting strategy. You know what, Jason? Fair. Completely and utterly fair. I love it. David Carpenter is just an asshole. We might have to get rid of him after this season, but we'll see how it all works out. I think it's funny how I basically had to like hit him over the head to get him to do anything besides hitting coach, but he finally accepted it. So, all right, looking at the roster as it stands. Giuliano is a really good defender. Joey Rogers isn't that interesting. I'm going to go ahead and waive him to free up 40-man spots. So first person who's getting kept is Josh Price. Josh Price actually looks like a really good catcher. And I want to carry more than just the two because I'm not convinced Ronnie Small is much of a catcher. Joe McGathy could start and is also a decent hitter, so I'm definitely going to keep him too. Joel Parker is thoroughly uninteresting, but even less interesting. I want to keep Giuliano just because of his elite defense, which is something I don't have right now. Dave Thames, I have loads of outfielders of varying degrees of talent. A guy like Dave Thames isn't that interesting to me. So we're gonna trade his ass. Literally any prospect of interest is available for the immortal Dave Thames. I'll take Ishmael Guerrero. He's a thoroughly unremarkable first baseman, but there's value in having plenty of unremarkable first basemen. And then Josh Rarick will quite simply never pitch for this team, I don't think. We're a little too good for him right now. So I think trading Mr. Rarick before we lose him for nothing is also sensible. Could even be a boat. Bobby Hammond, meh. I do like Freddie Lindelof, but I like Brad Schrader even more just because of his speed. That's very valuable too. I wonder if we get Lindelof too. That would be pretty nice. Submit offer. Alright. So presently we're rocking 15 pitchers, which doesn't even include Allen and Deviney, both of whom will get opportunities in spring training. Asel McGathy. I have no desire to add a pitcher at all this offseason. It just doesn't seem sensible to me. Lineup. I really do need a third baseman, don't I? Oh no, it's Espinosa. 1,000% it's going to be Espinosa that's going to play third base for us. Let me throw him on the Major League roster right now. Because that is his job to lose. And we're going to use Gallego here to be kind of a backup for us. We have Escobedo, Portillo, Cabral, DeWitt, and Guerra. Plus a ton of spring training guys who will all get some level of chance. I don't know that I have an obvious first baseman or position player that I'd like to add. I wouldn't mind adding a good middle infielder. I don't have one that I've just been hiding, do I? What about Vicente Ochoa? He's the worst. He sucks. Real bad. There's some good shit here, but it's way far away from the big leagues. It is light years away from the big leagues. Maybe not Robbie Herbertson, but Mr. Herbertson has other fish to fry at the moment. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, let's check out infielders. I would not mind a high quality infielder. I mean, Emmanuel Lantigua is exactly the kind of player that would offer us some good quality depth. I don't see any reason to overthink this. Unless Vince Sharp... No, Vince Sharp is a captain, though. Interesting. You would be very nice to have in the locker room, but beyond that, not so much. We could bring Caleb Sellers back at a drastically inflated cost. No, thank you. I will take Lantigua and offer him a 1-year deal. Just to fill out the back of the roster. But no, other than infield, I feel pretty good about our depth and our overall talent level, and I see very little reason to fuck with that. Hoskins is almost. What do I have to give you to make this deal happen? Really shitty center fielder. Done. Just done. I probably could have traded Joey Rogers. I didn't think that they would want him. Not if I'm eating his entire salary. Don't be absurd. I might as well keep him. I'm not eating his entire salary. If I will eat like a quarter of his salary, but I'm not doing it. I'm not eating his entire salary. Not interested. Yeah, this is absurd. I am not eating his entire salary. Like, that is not happening. I'm perfectly fine to let Espinoza be our opening day third baseman. I'm sorry, fans. I was never going to be able to afford him. It wasn't happening. How bad is fan interest? Fan interest is at 82 right now. Fans are pretty pumped. I'm not doing it. Like, this is almost not even worth having him on the block, because if I'm not getting salary relief, there's no point in trading him. There just is no point. Now, if you want to eat his salary, then we'll talk. But, like, this is pointless. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. 85% of the salary. No. I would at most eat 50% of his salary. At most. Yeah, just... I'm going to take him off the block. This is just getting stupid. I don't need Jabari Giwa. I'm not giving you players of this quality for a mid-tier third baseman. I've got a mid-tier third baseman. I'm taking Demoya off the block, though, because you're just being stupid with your offers. He's available, but he's not on the block. I don't want to keep getting offers. Like, if you eat all of his salary, like, no. I don't want Rodolfo Herrera. Certainly not at that price. Certainly not at that price. Everybody thinks I want their middle-aged third baseman. I don't get it. I don't get it. I could get Aguilar back. Oh, that's a different Aguilar, isn't it? That's not the one that played for me, I don't think. It's not. I was going to go Rule 5, and if I can find a quality player there, I'd take them over trading actual talent for these offers you're making. Ooh, how much did... You're paying him a lot of money. I think that's silly, but it's your money. I can't tell you what to do with it. Oh my god. Stop talking. Stop trying to force your player down my throat. Okay. You just don't. Defaults. Potential. Bloop. I mean, there's a lot to like about Elisha Canada. Ironically, also my guy at one point. Jesus Barrera is a phenomenal defensive player that I don't think will ever hit for a ton. But there's a lot to like about Mr. Barrera here. David Gallegos? Maybe. I think we take Barrera, though, because he's just so good defensively. Oh, no, he's actually not that good defensively. He could be, though. Gallegos still has offensive upside. Which he hasn't had a chance to demonstrate. Who did I trade for you? Oh, you were part of a big old deal. To basically get nothing of value. Yikes. I think I'm just gonna skip it this year. I don't really see anybody here that delights me. I lost Jonathan Addy. Well, there you have it. Cancel the parade, guys. No World Series for us. Like, I don't need middle-aged outfielders. I just don't. I don't need middle-aged outfielders. I don't need middle-aged infielders. How you doing, Paulie? Have you been enjoying your time away from the Oakland A's? You've had a couple of good seasons and then a couple of real stinkers. So I have a feeling that your career probably isn't going to last a whole lot longer. But I could be wrong. I have nothing against him. It's really my own hubris that convinced him to spend like $1 billion on a player that wasn't that great. There we go. Boom. Done. Darn. So the next interesting, fascinating question about the Oakland A's in this offseason is, how do we make room for good young players? Great question. Great question. I wonder if somebody would want Mike Swanson. Probably not, right? Like, that seems highly unlikely that somebody is going to want Mike Swanson. We'll worry about who goes where after we have set rosters and stuff. But I still have enough. I have plenty of spots to give people an opportunity in the spring training. Woodruff and Turner both made it. Vlad Guerrero came really close. Looks like that's it. Mike Young is a really good player. I am not eating this ginormous contract. That is not happening. I do need to keep McDevitt. That's probably the most important thing I can do this offseason, is find a way to keep him. What are we talking about for a long-term extension? What about just, say, 5 years? With a couple of team options. Oh yeah, the owner won't approve that. I'm just trying to cut the total value out of this deal a little bit and see if he'll take it. How does that work? Wow, that just apparently annoyed the shit out of him. If I'm paying you $40 million, I need a way out of this contract early. Like, that's non-negotiable for me. Oh, then this needs to come down too. Like, that feels gross, doesn't it? That is so much money. Like, $34 million for a 5-win player is reasonable. Like, that's not an unreasonable sum to pay him. But I'll be damned if that feels good to sign him to that big a contract. I'll offer it. And if he doesn't take it, he doesn't take it. But I feel like we have to keep him, though. Like, if we don't, I don't think we have the young pitching talent to... the fans enjoyed it. That's good. I'm glad somebody did. I'll probably start losing some of these relievers. And I accept that. I absolutely accept that. Who is the best of the best? Luis Ramos is a weird-ass player. He just is. He has so much power. Potential. And he plays a premium defensive position and doesn't play it poorly. He could be a franchise player. He truly could. I am concerned about his lack of contact, though. That does cause me some concern. Because if it turns out that he can't hit 40 home runs a season, the rest of his offensive tools, I think, are going to make him struggle. I am more than willing to give him the chance, though. What if I offer you $4 million? And what the shit? No, I'm just going to save the rest of my money and see if that is enough to get us that amazing sausage. Oh, that McDevitt contract feels like a bad one. I don't want Bryce Rainier for any price. Yeah, we got Ramos. That's cool. I don't want Danny Baker either. Like, quit being weird, guys. Quit being like, do you want my 30-year-old third baseman who's never played in the major leagues? Why, no, I don't. Oh, this contract's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. You know, I'm able to trade Demoya by them, which I should be able to. I feel pretty confident about that. We're gonna have to make some. We're gonna make some sacrifices on the other side of things here. We're gonna have to definitely shed some payroll in some creative way over the course of the season. I don't feel great about it, though. I don't feel great about giving McDevitt that much money. But otherwise, I feel pretty confident that I was going to lose him. I feel pretty confident about that fact. Mike Swanson got better. That's cool. I appreciate that. Spring training begins. There's a lot of potential jobs up for grabs in spring training this year. I think more than usual, which I actually found very exciting. Because there's just not that many guaranteed spots right now. Where's Divini? Okay, there he is. He is being activated and given an opportunity. Price small and twist. Hoskins and Phipps. Fippy does Flippy. Josh Davis, I think, would be a fair choice to get some spring training reps in, perhaps. Brad Schroeder, I could certainly offer an opportunity to. Ishmael Guerrero can have a go. Robbie Herbertson, I think, has, with his spring training, has at least earned a chance to show what he can do in spring training. I truly believe that. All right. So you're just benching Chris Hughes in favor of Lantigua. But why? Like, I know Chris Hughes ain't perfect, but he is at least, like, a decent player. And using him as a DH just seems silly to me. He's not that good. Maybe there's something we'll need to do about this, if he's going to get weird about it. Like, Luna and DeWitt are going to cover an awful lot of concerns. For certain. Because they're just that good. But that certainly doesn't mean we don't have an opportunity to see people really develop and become something special. Hi there, Luis Blas. Adding a cutter is pretty badass. I do think, you know what we're going to do? True open competition. Nobody is guaranteed a starting pitching spot. Nobody. Oh, I can't do it for multiple people at a time? That's annoying. I mean, let's face it, McDevitt's going to get it no matter what happens. Like, it's not like you're going to, like, comically say, oh, thank God, McDevitt always sucked, let's bench him. But you might bench DeMoya, and you might bench a couple of other people. If I let you. And I want this to be your team too. Like, I want him to feel like he has a chance. And Bloss in particular seems like a really good young pitcher. And I want to give him opportunities. I want him to show that he can handle things. If it means benching Mike Swanson, I don't care. Mike Swanson was a bit of a disappointment. I know there was a time when he was one of our best starters, and he's definitely pitched well when given the opportunity, but he hasn't ever been great. I will force you to start Chris Allen. That's my one deal breaker. I need Swanson. I need Allen to pitch a lot in spring training so I can figure out if he's got a role in this pitching staff going forward. 1 to 2 weeks for a reliever. That's fine. You'll be ready when spring training is done. Okay, I'm getting nervous, guys. I'm getting nervous because we haven't had any catastrophic injuries in spring training yet. Guys, I'm scared. I'm terrified of what happened. Anyway, 20 pitchers is excessive. Let's get rid of 7 of them. Alright, so presently the rotation looks like this. Allen, McDevitt, Gross, Stoll, and Swanson. Stoll? Okay. I mean, Stoll does have genuine upside as a starter if we just gave him an opportunity, so that's probably going to be okay. Probably. Okay. Davini goes to the minors. That's step 1. McGathy... Gosh, I want to keep him if we can. Zahn can go to the minors. No, let's let McGathy keep working. Will literally anybody take Demoya? Please. 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 I said please, okay? I said freaking please. That means you have to do it. That's how it works, right? That's how all this shit works. I'll offer Danny Cartier. That's how much I would like to not have Demoya anymore. You know what? Samuel Basallo might be fucking awful, but at least he's only got one more year left on his deal. Done. Completely and utterly done. Yes, makes my payroll situation worse this year. But now I can trade him and see what I might be able to acquire. Nobody wants to deal with him. That's fine. Now I really have no money. But in a good way. You know what? Do you want to be the most overpaid backup catcher in the major leagues? Well, too bad. I wonder if I can demote you to AAA. No, you have to be on the contract. That's a shame. That is an shame. Yeah, fine. Why not carry 4 catchers? No, I'm joking. We're still at 16 pitches, so gotta give her 3 more. Getting rid of Demoya helps. McKay... No, McKay had a really good year. Back to the minors for you, Tingley Dave. Huh. Hunt to the minors. Allen to the minors. I think this actually makes us a better team. Because I really wanted Bloss to get an opportunity. I think Bloss could be a really great starting pitcher, and I wanted to give him that chance. But also, it just gives Allen more chance to build up his confidence so that when we do bring him up, we're that much stronger as a club. I like that a lot. Basallo can kind of hit, but that's about it. And that's not good enough to be a starting catcher. Small to the minors. Price to the minors. And Twiz to the minors. Guerrero and Phipps both go to the minors, so I don't need that many people there. Herbertson to the minors. Davis and Schroeder to the minors. Carrying six outfielders seems excessive. It's Giuliano is the one that goes to the minors. Done. There it is, friends. Your opening day Oakland A's roster. Okay. Huh. Oh man, I could have brought him back for like $4 million. Oh, that would have been so cool. That would have been so cool to have a little reunion as a treat. Nelson Vigil slots in as the number 10 prospect. Are we in the top 10? We're number 6 system. That's really good. That's really, really good. And a big part of that is Ramos, who we just signed, which is even better. I think our farm system is pretty strong given what we've been operating with. So, I don't love starting Lantigua if he wasn't so good defensively. And I definitely don't think Hughes is that great to be playing as a designated hitter. We'll figure it out for him. So we have DeWitt, Guerra, and Portillo. Why are we playing Guerra over Escobedo? That actually confuses me slightly. I think Escobedo has lots and lots of potential. We're also not playing Cabral at all. Am I going to trade Bobby Guerra to just convince you that he's not this megastar in the waiting? Because here's the thing, right? We will never get to know how good Cabral can be if he doesn't play. You know what? I'd rather you benched Chris Hughes than bench Cabral. Cabral, you're the everyday DH now. Because it's silly to be like this. If it means benching Hughes, it means benching Hughes. I don't care. But that had to change. I have to get Cabral in the lineup. And it looks like this way, at least, Escobedo is getting a lot of chance to play a lot of different places. So that'll only improve his value going forward. But it's time to put up or shut up, Cabral. I need to see big-time numbers. I'm giving you till July 31st. If you have not proven to be a top-quality player by then, I will trade you. That's my ultimatum for you. So behave. Pitching staff, I'm really excited about how good and young it is. Only one pitcher here is over 30, which is Swanson. And this is Swanson's last year, and he's exactly 30. We have a ton of really good young pitchers. We have reinforcements in the minors if injuries happen. Our bullpen is incredibly deep. Our pitching staff is phenomenal, and our top-line offensive talent is excellent as well. This is all going to come down to, can we make it last over a season? If DeWitt and Luna play at a high level, I think a lot of other problems will fix themselves. There's also an awful lot riding on Espinosa. I do believe in him, but it's certainly not a guarantee that he'll perform at a decent level. He's getting a lot of responsibility very early in his career, and maybe he'll make the most of it, and maybe he won't. Guerra, I know, like, last year was bad. For all the talent he had in 2037, 2038, he was just an objectively bad player. He got nearly the same number of plate appearances, but performed significantly worse across the board. I think Guerra's on a short leash. I don't know how I feel about Lantigua playing shortstop and benching Hughes. I mean, the man just won MVP and Rookie of the Year in his first year and led the league in homers. So he's entitled to play whatever position he wants to play. If he wants to be a fucking catcher, then he can be a catcher. No problemo. I do think Melo's got to show me something this year, though. I think Melo's another player who hasn't been terribly productive. I like what he brings to the club. I like his solid defense. I think he handles the pitching staff quite well. But the fact is, he's an almost 0 with the bat. And that may mean his swing is better as a backup. Now, I do have other interesting catchers on this roster. In particular, we have Twist. No, we don't have Twist. Twist is another one of these fuckers that can't actually catch. He wouldn't be the worst, but he certainly is somewhat limited. Small is at least a more well-rounded offensive player. What if I do trade Twist? What if we end the episode by trading him for an interesting regular or prospect of some flavor? Danny Bowman is an exceptionally interesting player. Don't get me wrong. Juan Miranda is also excellent. I dig that. I know it would be impossible to code from an AI standpoint, but I wish they had 3-team trades and OOTP. I know that they probably never will, but I kind of wish they did. A guy like Diefenbach isn't terrible. There's a ton of value in somebody who just throws lots and lots of strikes and keeps the ball nice and low. I wish he threw harder, but this is fine. Is there a better player, though? Ishtar. I think Miranda is better, but I am concerned about his control. If he's going to walk a lot of players, he will never reach his potential as a quality catcher. But I also really like Bowman. Whenever I could get Poland and Bowman. Wow, what a combo. Poland and Bowman. If I could get both of them, I would be quite pleased. You need a bit more, huh? Oh, dear Lord, that's more than a bit more, fuckers. That's a lot more. No. I will take just Bowman. No, you don't. You don't get to change your mind. Really? Fine, submit offer. Okay, you took the deal. Good. There we go. We're still relatively deep at catcher. I think Josh Price has a lot of potential. Josh Price could end up being our starting catcher if something is to happen to Mr. Mello, or Mayo, perhaps. I wish I didn't have Basalo, but I'm happy that I don't have what's-his-face's contract. And look, if he runs into, say, 15 home runs, if he runs into a handful of home runs this year, he'll still not be worth it remotely, but you'll be not my problem. And there's a lot to say, there's a lot to like about not my problem. Yeah. Good times. My friends, I hope you have enjoyed the episode. If you have, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop your comments. Let me know how you think we're going to do this year. Feel free to castigate me for the Chris McDevitt contract. You know what the worst would be is this actually works out, and he wants like $50 million at the end of his contract, and I have to give it to him. But McDevitt is way too good. McDevitt is an amazing pitcher with an extremely bright future and present. I wasn't going to give him up. I wasn't going to let him down. I wasn't going to run around and hurt him. We do still have some really young pitchers in the minors that could come up and be stars. I just need Allen to get a little bit of a breakthrough moment this season. I need him to step into AAA and pitch his heart out. That's what I need. It's going to be hard because he is, of course, in the PCL, the Pacific Coast League, which is always a hitter's league. It's really hard to be really successful there. I want to see the walks drop a bit. Like, if he is what he was in 2037, I can live with that, even if I'm not enthusiastic about it. His problem in 2037 is he didn't strike people out. His peripherals last year were slightly better because it's such a big uptick in strikeout rate, but it's also an uptick in walk rate. As long as I'm getting 2-1, that's kind of what I'm looking for from him. So Alan, this is your moment. Don't fuck it up. Do not consider for one moment fucking it up. We don't have as much top line power as I'd like, but we have a whole bunch of guys who get at 20 plus homers, I think. I think that's one of this team's great strengths. I don't see many people hitting 30 plus, maybe Luna again, but Luna's actually lost some power, which is both terrifying and a little bit sad. If we look at his scouting, he was 70 power last year, and he's dropped to 65. Not the end of the world, but we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. It's kind of a big year for Hoskins, too. Like, for all of Hoskins' obvious talents, first base is a position I need to get a lot of offense at, and if he can't provide that, I need to move on from him probably sooner rather than later. If Hoskins is still on the Oakland A's by the start of next offseason, he's either been very, very good, or, yeah, basically he has to break out this year. What does a breakout What does a breakout season look like for Hoskins? Honestly, I would happily take 2037 over a full season of at-bats. That would put him in that 25 to 30 home run range with a decent batting average. And that's good. Like, it's not perfect, but it's good. If he can't provide that level of talent, we're going to have to move on from him. We're also going to need to try to make some decisions about the bullpen. Because Lord knows this bullpen is going to get mighty pricey as different relievers hit the open market. So we're going to have to think about that. But I feel really good about our pitching staff. Even losing DeMoya, I think we're actually better. And I'm really eager to see how we gel as a team with all the new coaches. Keep in mind, right? Like, this is an important thing to remind ourselves of. As of last season, the coaches we had were me, our assistant GM, Haney was bench coach, Goddard was third base coach, and a scouting director and team trainer. Bench coach, pitching coach, hitting coach, first base coach, all new. Did not hold those roles last season, which is very interesting. Well, Rosales actually was on the club too, just got a different role, which is fair. I am really eager to see what we can get out of David Carpenter, though. I've had my eye to get you in the big leagues for a while now. And if you can help this pitching staff be even more awesome than it was before, that's phenomenal. We've got some really good young coaches, too. Not just old experienced ones like Haney. Like, I would be shocked if we get 3 seasons out of Haney. I have a feeling that he'll probably retire. Especially if we have a great season. If we have an amazing season, I think Haney will certainly retire. And then who's the next manager? I don't know. It could be Vicente, but he doesn't want to be a manager. That's the problem. He doesn't want to be. And if he doesn't want to be a manager, I'd find somebody who does want to be a manager. But even Goddard doesn't want to be a manager either. He just doesn't want to do it. Lance Koenig could be decent, I guess. He's not really a manager, though. He's a pitching coach. Cooper Goldby is probably my best young manager in the game. I've noticed this coming up a lot on Reddit. I still don't have a satisfactory solution to the problem of why do my minor league teams suck all the time. But I'm not that concerned about it either. Goldby could be a star. He's also a local boy. He also never played the game, which I think actually might be to his benefit. But anyways, that's going to be for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to like the video, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, this has been Up Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.